And now's the time to take a step. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. Do you want to hear from your speakers? Yeah. Come on down, speakers, let's go. This is your rally, let's welcome them. Whoa. Get on your feet. Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen some difficult times, and we got some trying times in front of us. But, you know, if we're united, we stand. Divided, we fall. Today, we're here in the house of a private union, sector union, but we're here as public sector, private sector, clergy, college student, to talk about what's going to happen and how we're going to save the middle class.
But Indiana and New Hampshire, which is the same thing that's going on here in Ohio. People, if we don't stop this bill across this country, we're going to go back at least 30 years in the progress that we've made in the line of equal rights. Our violation, we won't go back. We refuse to go back. And I hope you'll stand and won't concede and stand until, look at what is happening, not only in this country, but use the examples that you see happening across our world. You know, it's our time to come together and to take a stand, black, white, Jew, Greek, whoever you are. It's time for us to come together with a oneness of purpose, a oneness of cause, and to see that it happens. We need to do that. We need to do that. We need to do that. I've never seen such an outright attack on the working, and now the middle class, the working poor. We're in the process of becoming even a caste system, if you will. We are in a very, very serious position in this country. We do have the power to make some change. Let me say this, don't ever think that we're powerless, because we're not without power and we're not without strength. And the greatest, even though we have elected and we have people, we've got to hold them accountable. Not just putting it, we've got to hold them accountable. And in doing so, the greater...
Say, save the workers. In some strange way, what we saw in Egypt was lessons that they learned from us. Amen. You make progress not through terrorism and attacks or religious sectarianism, if they have tried, but through massive, disciplined, direct action. Willing to hold out and willing to sacrifice. At some point, they could no longer play Muslims against Christian against Jew. They had to transcend their religious points of view and worship the Most High God. In some real sense, this struggle today to protect the rights of workers to collect in the bargain, it's not about Democrats, it's about democracy. It's not about Republicans, it's about republic. It's a time-held tradition where labor, business, and government has a place at the table. That's right. Pastor Washington, all of my life, we've heard the song about the sermon about the valley of dry bones. Mm-hmm. The bones were dry in the valley because the water got cut off on the hill. And so long as Ezekiel just preached to the bones didn't move. He did his best sermon, his most devotion. His analysis was too limited because he was just talking to victims of a crisis, victims of those who were parching and perishing. He was pulled out of the valley Go round about it. Look at cause and effect, not just look at effect. So here we are today. We've come full circle since Dr. King marched for workers' rights in Memphis in 1968. The right to collectively bargain, the right to get dues checked up, the right to have a decent wage. Because workers can dream beyond their predicament. Even garbage workers can dream of the day when they'll sit at the graduation and watch their child graduate. Garbage workers dream of owning a home, taking a vacation. John on Patmos could dream of one day seeing a new heaven and a new earth, dreaming beyond your predicament. Those dreams must not be crushed. Must not be crushed. What is some of the cause and effect? Here we are with $1 trillion+ investment and the misadventure in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Shame on them.
That's the same budget. That's right. And we love the soldiers, but not the veterans. Half of the homeless men are veterans. We love the soldiers, but not the veterans. We love the martyrs, but not the marchers. So, $1 trillion there. The banks removed the Glass-Steagall Act Roosevelt put in place. The banks should not lend and invest under the same roof. If they do, they'll choose investment over lending. Between removing that roof and no oversight, banks through greed drove us into a hole. When Ohio State plays Michigan in the big game, what allows it to be a game and not a brawl is a fair referee. That's right. If the referees were owned by either team, it would not be a fair game, and you could never trust the outcome. So congressional lack of oversight, combined with banker greed, drove us in a hole. And guess what? We bailed out the banks.
Right. Have them give it back.
But did not link it to lending and reinvestment.
Right.
So while they are now awash in $2 trillion in capital, they can't figure out what to spend. We're arguing about $8 billion. While the banks are awash in capital, they were able to get fees and free money and lend it to students for fee money. Today, their student loan debt is greater than credit card debt. Banks got free money and charge fees on it. Don't stop there. We bail the banks out. Home foreclosure is still on the rise. We hear a lot of talk last spring, last fall about jobs. Now it's job cut. Mixed message. So we had an insurance bill, the right thing to do. Now 59 million Americans, 59 million without health insurance, and fees keep rising. Buy medicine across the border in Canada cheaper than you can buy it on the state side, same medicine. That's at the top. Christmas time, we bail out the billionaires. February, cut low-income energy heat assistance, cut state workers, and cut Pell Grants. Right. We got to feed the roots, not just the leaves. That's right. That's right. Workers must not be the scapegoat for a rather profound economic crisis. We have a great president. He needs help. Our protest helps him. Our silence and cynicism on the cusp of the president's dream. The story goes that 1940s, A. Philip Randolph and Miss Bethune, a number of them met with President Roosevelt about jobs and justice and fairness. He said, I agree with everything you've said. Now go out and make me do it. That's right. When we act, we make good presidents great. Our inaction contributes to our predicament. Tell the governor we're going to act. We're not going backwards. We're going to act. We're not going backwards. Don't go back. This fight is not just about wages. Outstanding woman of esteem, Board of Education, 2 years into a term, the governor removes her arbitrarily. Not because of malfeasance, not because of lack of attendance, just decided to replace her shamelessly without a notice. That's what happens when you don't have collective bargaining. That's why you got say we have collective bargaining to not be treated arbitrarily. We have the right of collective bargaining to negotiate health care, pensions, wages, and a decent standard of living. At the top, 59 million without health insurance, 49 million in poverty. Went to a homeless shelter a few weeks ago in San Francisco, about 7 o'clock at night, and the women were there on the floor with their children, teaching them to read.